Hi, so in this video, I'm going to show you on how to set up your own virtual host for Apache server. In this tutorial, I am going to demonstrate on how you can set up and configure virtual hosts for your website project using XAMPP running on Windows 10. I am assuming that you already have XAMPP or any web server platform installed on your unit. So you can install any web application development environment server. But in this tutorial, we're going to use the XAMPP. So you must make sure that the XAMPP is downloaded and installed in your unit and it's running well. So setting up a virtual host allows you to use an alias name for your local host. We can set up multiple virtual hosts as per our needs so that each local website can be accessed through a specific name. I'll be showing you on how to set up virtual hosts for the Apache server. So when you're viewing your local project, we usually type localhost at the beginning of the URL, but when we set up virtual hosts, we can convert the localhost URL into something like this. So the purpose of setting up virtual hosts in our Apache server is it is very easy to do. It helps to replicate production environment and it looks good during the development. So before we start, let's make sure that our XAMPP server is running. We can click the start button for both Apache and MySQL. So for us to execute the virtual host Apache server, we must first set up our temporary project directory for us to check later the running URL. So first, let us create the directory that we want to add. So for now, we have here I've included my project under the htdocs. So I've created a folder website. Then I named the folder MCS533. Then I created a folder project. Then this is my default project content. So I've created here the index.php so that we can later preview it on the host that we're going to create. So inside the index.php, I put the input project and MCS533 cloud computing. So its directory is located inside the XAMPP directory. So you can actually put the project that you want to create outside the XAMPP if you're going to create virtual hosts for the Apache server. So now that we have established our project directory, we must then create our virtual host. So first, you need to navigate to this directory for you to locate the file that you need to edit. So in my case, this is my XAMPP directory. So you go to the directory of XAMPP, then you must locate the Apache folder. So inside the Apache folder, you locate the conf folder. Then inside the conf folder, you go to the extra folder. Then find the httpd vhost.conf file. So you will open this into your text editor. So in my case, I am using the Visual Code text editor. So when you open the file, you must modify the file. You must create a element for the virtual host. So the virtual host must consist of document root, server name, and directory. So for the virtual host, most web servers use port 80 as their default port. However, you can change their port to 8080, 8081, and so on. It depends on the configuration of your unit. Second is we have the document root. So the folder where files of a site will exist. So in our case, the folder name is MCS533. Then we have the server name. So the server name, it is the URL for our virtual host. Then we have the directory. So for the directory, it is the directory of our virtual host. So you must able to copy this format, then paste it in your file. So this is the file that I edit. So I have here my document root, wherein my project is located on this location. Then I have my server name. So my server name is MCS533 project.local, and my directory. So the directory includes the directory of your project. So based on our previous demonstration, we have created our project inside the htdocs folder. So we have the website folder, MCS533 folder, and the project folder. So inside the project folder, we have that index.php file. So this is how we create the virtual host. So now that we have modified and set up our virtual host, the next thing we need to do is we must open our host file. So we must run this or locate this directory in order for us to modify our host file. So my host file is located in this section. We have the Windows, System32, drivers, and etc. So we must locate the host file. So we must open it in our text editor. So once we've opened the host file, we must add our preferred directory or URL name. So in my case, I've added MCS533 project.local. So this is the server name that you've added based on the virtual host you've created. So the server name added on your httpd vhost.conf file is mcs533 project.local. So this server name must be the same on your host file. So you'll just copy the IP stated on your host file, then just paste it, then add your server name. So after you modify all the changes you've made, you must restart your Apache. You need to restart both the Apache and MySQL once you are done. So after restarting both the Apache and MySQL, you need to check if the local host, if the virtual host you've created is running. So we're going to copy this since this is our server name. So we've assumed that the ms533 project.local will load the content will load the content on this directory. So there you go. Project in MSCS 533 Cloud Computing. So the index.php was able to preview on this directory. So that is how we create or set up our virtual host. So thank you so much. So that is how we set up our own virtual host for Apache server specifically for Windows users. So for Ubuntu users, you may check the link below.